जयपुर वाया कोटा।
कृपया ध्यान आपको अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत.
Lucknow Junction.
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವರೈ
एक्सप्रेस পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন कृपया ध्यान दियो.
Hello and welcome to Cricbuzz Live. We of course have two games today. The first one, Gujarat playing Lucknow in Lucknow. Gujarat won the toss, decided to bat first. And geez, they just could not get going. They have wrapped up the innings, as you will see, at 135 for 6. They still had some batters, and trust me, it wasn't for the lack of trying. They all tried, but besides a couple of big hits, maybe for Hardik Pandya, who got 66 in 50 deliveries, Ridhiman Saha fell just before very well-deserved, what would have been a well-deserved 50, but otherwise just couldn't get going. Even the two of them found it really tough, and they have managed to kind of crawl to 135 for 6. Well, it was after the New Zealand white ball game that Hardik Pandya gave this pitch 2 thumbs down. He's not giving it any compliments today either, Michael, is he?
No, it's a poor pitch. But cricket brings up different challenges, and I think it's the kind of service where I really think this score's quite competitive. They'd have liked another 10 or 15. 150, I think, would have been a tremendous score, but you can just tell Hardik Pandya's a good player. Right, he's not in great form, but when Hardik Pandya's really struggling to strike the ball, like he generally does, you can see that the pitch is a tricky one. When you've got, Navin Hulhat was tremendous, but it's the perfect pitch for his style of bowling. Loads of those slow balls. Krunal Pandya was great, not done too much bowling in the IPL. He bowled beautifully on a real good pitch for him to bowl. Look at all the dots, 25 dots between those two bowlers that I've just mentioned. Bishnoi is the standout, actually. 4 overs for 49 on a pitch that he would have really fancied bowling on. But look, sometimes in cricket you look at a pitch and you think, it's not great as a spectacle. It's not a great pitch to bat on, but I think it'll be an entertaining game because the pitch is quite a tricky one. I don't think whatever the start that Lucknow get, and they'll have to try and attack the power play to get ahead of the rate, I still don't think they'll have the game won because there's just so much there for the bowlers. Rashid Khan on this kind of surface. I think it's a really competitive total.
Lisa, do you think this pitch is slower than how I am talking?
It might be up there, that's for sure. It just shows you whether it's men's cricket, women's cricket, when it's a low, slow pitch, it just does not excite the fans for why they're there for T20 cricket. Just doesn't allow you to play with freedom from a batting perspective. Now, I'm all for the bowlers to sometimes win some contests, but you still want some pace in the wicket, maybe nip around a little bit more. But, look at the run rate in the third phase, 4.2.
Yeah.
And I know that's where they lost wickets, but boy, that's really slowing down. So that's the area that really hurt Gujarat. And they were literally at the start of the 17th, 97 for 4.
Yeah.
It's not like they lost too many wickets. I know that period they did, but you just wanted them to take a few more risks or at least rotate the strike a little bit more. And just on Ravi Bishnoi as well, like one of the reasons I was thinking why his figures are a mismatch to everyone else is because he's used to bowling on hard, fast decks. So he bowls a certain pace, whereas when the ball's starting to stop and turn a little bit more, as a leggy, you actually need to take pace off. But, these 2020 leg spin bowlers, they're all about firing it in nice and full and just slight variations. But when it's actually a slowish pitch, you actually need to slow the ball up even more to be more effective.
Yeah, I think, and that's why you have a guy like Amit Mishra, who obviously has experience in doing that. He's been bowling in the IPL since, I think 1982, and he knows how to do it. So bowls is 2 overs for 9. And I guess for Ravi Bishnoi, there's a lot to learn from a senior pro like Amit Mishra saying, all right, hang on, this is giving you something, so just slow it up a bit. Which is what I think the other bowlers did, right? Just nobody gave the Gujarat batters any pace.
Yeah, if you want to be world class, you've got to be able to bowl and bat in all conditions. You've got to learn, you've got to realise as a spinner that today's not the day to fire it in. You've got to bowl it a bit slower, a bit fuller. I thought he bowled it too wide early. You know, he gave them too much width. It's the kind of pitch that you're just crying out as a batter to get some width so you can get your arms free. When it was straight, it looked very, very difficult to score. I thought they missed a trick, Gujarat. Miller should have come in early. They should have got the left-hand, right-hand combination. That period where they scored at 4.2, there was 2 right-handers in there. You know, on a pitch that's just a bit, if you want to be saying to the bowler, right, you've got a left-hander one, but all right, you've got a right-hander to bowl to, just to give them something different to bowl to. So I thought they missed a trick with Miller. It doesn't look the kind of surface where anybody, I don't know care who you are, you can go out on that kind of surface and suddenly start striking it from ball one. So leaving Miller right down the back end, as almost said, by the way, you don't come in until after the 15th. That's your role. You're just a 5-over player, really. You know, there's quite a few of those players in this IPL. Puran, Hetmar, the kind of, you only bat 5, that's your job. They should only get quarter pay.
Is it a left-hander quota then, perhaps? You've named 3 left-handers. It's 3 left-handers saying, we only come right at the end, man.
I think the picking on the left is you can only bat for 5 overs. I just think sometimes you've got to be a little bit clever and a little bit more strategic in realising the conditions and the pitch you're playing on and work out that a left-hand, right-hand combination. And I'm not saying they're going to score at 10s, but I think they'd have got to potentially 150, 155 if Miller had got out there early. And by the back end, he'd have faced 10 or 15 balls, and then he could have struck. But he'd have certainly rotated the strike that little bit better.
It happens. You know, the lefties, they tend to get left behind. Well, one of them who didn't get left behind today was Krunal Pandya, who was given the new ball, right? And Lisa, he was fantastic today, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was really good. And we had already spoken about the fact that he hadn't bowled in a few games. So it just shows you that he's ticking along nicely, and they're actually using him in the right situations, the right pitches, the right matchups, and then for him to deliver when he's not bowling regularly, that just shows you the class of player that he is. I mean, to be able to pick up early wicket, really important for them to kind of start to get into the middle order, who haven't actually faced a lot of deliveries. I mean, Hardik Pandya before this game hadn't really fired. So they got him in nice and early. But yeah, to get Shubman Gill out early was a big one for Krunal Pandya.
Well, Lisa, it's a great era to be a player, isn't it? Because not only can you be an impact player and only potentially not field and just bat or just do half the game. With all these matchups now, if you've got a bit of a nemesis in there, you don't bowl to them. You kind of get hidden, or you don't bowl on certain surfaces because your bowling might not be as effective. It's a lovely era to be a player.
It is. Overthink it sometimes, perhaps too. Maybe with Hardik Pandya, it's quite interesting because it was the 9th over against Bishnoi. Till that time, he was going at less than a run a ball. Had played about 25 balls and then hit a 6 and a 4 and suddenly caught up. Strike rate became 100, Lisa. But it just seemed like he was waiting to launch, but he just was. The pitch wasn't giving him anything. They weren't giving him any pace to hit the ball. So he just had to keep waiting to take it deep and just took it way too deep without having to come off. At 66 for 50, it looks like it's a really good innings on this pitch. But he's going to look at that score and say, maybe I could have gone a little earlier.
Yeah, I think there were times that he certainly tried. I mean, a lot of them did. They were shanking the ball a number of times.
Shanking's a good word.
So it was just that type of pitch. You just couldn't really read off the surface the pace of the ball, and especially when you first go in, your timing, trying to get an understanding. It takes some time. And that's what Hardik Pandya was able to show, that the more time he was out there, the better he was able to read the pitch. The only issue was that everyone else was bowling really well, and it was only Bishnoi that he was able to really kind of capture.
We've lost, I think we've lost Lisa there, but if we were to just look at Gujarat's bowling, right? Now, this is the kind of pitch, don't think the game is over, because as Michael is telling you, they've got the bowlers to exploit this. They've got the experience. They've got one of the best in the business when it comes to spin in Rashid Khan. Mohit Sharma, I just want to say a word for him, spent last year being a net bowler with Gujarat Titans, came into the team this year. They picked him up in the auction, got man of the match in the first game that he's played. But again, for him, this kind of wicket is fantastic. Yeah,
I think they've got enough there. Noor Ahmed as well. They've got Mohamed Shami, Rashid. They've got a tremendous bowling lineup. I think Hardik's innings might be an innings that we speak about at the end of this game as being the match-winning innings. Wow. I think he played it smart.
Yeah.
I think he showed all his experience. I think he realised earlier that the pitch was tricky. unless Lucknow come out and really strike the first 6 and get well beyond their 8, I honestly think that innings was a play that played with a huge amount of confidence to chew up so many balls.
Yeah.
And just hang in there and just stay in there and wait for that moment. You wait for that Bisnoy moment and go bang, 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 got 19 off that over.
Yeah.
And I really do think it was a clever innings. We generally talk about in T20 cricket the great innings being 80 or 40 balls. I just feel that innings today was a real smart innings by the captain. There's so many times. I remember Duncan Fletcher, the coach of England over many. He's just get in the game.
Yeah.
Don't be out of the game at the halfway stage by doing something that's just beyond what you need to do.
Good point. Yeah.
And I think what he's done there, he probably could have challenged himself to get to 150, 155 by taking earlier risks. But I think in his mind he thought, on this pitch with my bowling attack, if I get us into the game with a 130, 135, I'm not delighted with it because I'd like the 150, but I'm in the game. Rather than being out of the game and being bowled out for 110, which they could have been if they'd gone too hard too soon, I think the skipper just thought, I'll just get in the game. This is a poor pitch. I don't want to use the words that he used a few months ago about the pitch, but it's a poor pitch. Get in the game. Rashid Khan, here we go. Mohammed Shami will make it difficult for them with that score.
I think the words he used for this pitch 2 months ago were exactly, and I quote him. Those are the exact words that he used. But Rashid Khan's not going to be going at this pitch anytime soon, because he'd like this pitch, and he also likes the Lucknow batters. He likes them, Lisa. He likes them. He likes them a lot.
Yeah, he does like them a lot. And you look at the matchups, it's like, okay, can we bowl them from both ends, please? Yeah. Can we actually allow a bowler to bowl?
Can he be an impact player as well as being a regular player?
Correct. He's licking the lips. I guess the main thing is now for Hardik when to use him. You've got to be really clever and pick your moments because, we've always seen that he's very good when a team's going hard and they have to kind of challenge and take him on. But also, I'd love to see now his pace compared to a Bisnoy in the first innings to see how much he's learnt from watching him and then being able to execute because he is high class.
Yeah, can they do it though? Can Gujarat do it? They need this win. If they want to stay near the stratosphere of this points table, because otherwise Lucknow kind of runs away a bit. So today Gujarat winning is actually great for the league because it ties 4 teams at 8 points. But the Lucknow batters, when you look at somebody like KL Rahul, this is a game which is tailor-made for him, isn't it?
Well, it is. I'm intrigued to see how he plays because it's crying out for the first 6 to be attacked really aggressively. Really try and get ahead of the rate. I don't think it'll get any easier. Once the field can be spread, I don't think it's going to get easier for the bat. The boundaries are quite big. Can he come out of his shell and just go, okay, for the first 6, I've got to come out and play a few shots, or will they change the order?
Yeah.
Will they throw someone in there? Just go on, just try and crash it. Try and get us off to a 50-run. First 6, look, they might get beyond that, but it looks the kind of surface. If you get to 50 in the first 6, you'd be delighted with that.
Yeah, but Lisa, with KL Rahul, right? I mean, this is when you need a captain when the pitch is difficult, right? But the asking rate is not too high. Can he then literally shepherd the team, saying, "All right, I'm going to keep my head down. I'm going to keep getting the singles. We'll get the odd 4 now and then. I've got enough big hitters on the other side. I just have to make because if KL Rahul is not out at the end of this innings, Lucknow wins."
They win. And I think that's exactly how he'll tackle this. I mean, you've got Kyle Mayers, the other end, who will go hard. He's got players around him that will be the more aggressor. I think everyone would like to see KL Rahul show that he can up his strike rate and can lead from the front in that point of view. But I think he'll assess this pitch and go, you know what? I need to bat out throughout the innings. We win this game, we walk away with the points.
Yeah.
And for them, that's the most important thing. It's not about personal gains or future selection sometimes. And that's where we as pundits and fans, sometimes we get ahead of ourselves. But what the most important thing is for this team right now is to get 2 points. And what's going to get them 2 points? KL Rahul batting the entire innings.
It's really interesting because there's a case to be made for both approaches for KL Rahul because as Michael says, it's the power play when you get a chance to score some runs because after that, it's just a dead duck.
What he needs is Kalmas to go out and strike.
Yeah.
Because then he can just play his game. If they get Mayers early, he's in trouble because he's going to have to up his game. So the left-hander, he's just got to swing it, get it over the ropes a few times, and the skipper at the other end can just have a a nice little drink and a smoke and go, well played. You get us off to a flower and I'll just play orthodox.
A pipe. We're talking about a pipe with nothing in it. There's kids watching. Smoking is injurious to health. Please do not do that. This was just
not good.
It was metaphoric. It was not literal, right? Okay, well, so who's not coming? Josh Little has come in or he hasn't? He's not coming. All right, Jayant Yadav has come in as the impact player. Well, that makes sense. You want to get the offie, play test matches for India. Very, very experienced in domestic cricket. Super brain on him as well. So that means they now have Rashid Khan, right arm leg. They have Noor, who's left arm wrist spinner. I'm not going to use the term that you thought everybody uses, no. Then there's Jayant Yadav, who bowls right arm off spin. They have...
I wonder if they'll use him up against Mayers early, the left-hander.
Yeah, they might.
Try and get him to...
Yeah. You could have Vijay Shankar bowling on this surface because Vijay Shankar bowls the way Marcus Stoinis bowls, right? You can take some pace off. So yeah, this is very interesting to get Jayant Yadav on. So I feel these guys are going to go... so this is not very often that we say this about a 135-run game, but it looks like a spicy meatball. Yes, it does. Michael has just promised me this is going to be an interesting game because... Let's face it, 135 in the first innings, kind of got a little snoozy between 11 and 15. We saw Rohan Gavaskar take an actual snooze.
Yeah, well, we woke him up.
We did. Yes, we did. The Sixers did. We did. All right, so we're going to guess our power play score because we all got it woefully wrong the first time around. So Lisa was actually the closest in a way. So we'll let her go first.
All right, I'm going to go 43.
43.
I was going to go there.
Sorry, guys, it's not going to be as aggressive as we all would like.
I'm going to go lower. 39.
No, I was going to go even lower. I was going to go 35.
Go on.
Yeah?
Yeah, go on.
I'm going to go 35.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
35,
like it.
39 and 43. It's going to be 47, isn't it? It's going to happen. All going to get it wrong. All right, well, that's all we have time for. We're going to see you at the end of the 10th over with Cricbuzz Combox. That's the time we come on with a little update and to take a wicket to spice things up. We do this every time, 100% record. So we're going to see you then. That's all we have time for right now on Cricbuzz Live. Thank you for watching.
Jaipur via Kota.
कृपया ध्यान आपको अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
Lucknow Junction.
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವರೈ
Hyderabad Express পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন। कृपया ध्यान दो